matter.
This is Björn Lundberg. Welcome to Threefold Talk.
Thank you, Bjorn.
Thank
That
you,
never
sexy
gets old.
Scandinavian voice.
It really never gets old at all, ever.
I'm so glad Rob is normally here to like take over as we're like, oh. Oh. Well, good evening, everybody.
Hi,
Welcome
everybody.
to Threefold
Yes.
Talk. Beth, welcome back. It's been a hot minute.
Hello. How are
Yes,
you?
ma'am.
I've missed your faces.
Way too long. Miss your faces too. All of them. All your faces.
Right?
All my faces.
When we don't get to spend every single day together, I miss you guys.
This is true.
This is why we need traveling
true.
to become an actual real life thing.
I know. I
mean,
just
you're
found
more
out there's
welcome if you ever want to come to the hellscape, otherwise known as Texas.
You know,
are
it's
more
finally
than
cool enough.
welcome.
We could go now. It's cool enough.
Well, I had to turn my air conditioning on today. It was 83 degrees in
Perfect.
November.
I had to turn my heat on because it was 31 degrees.
Oh, we had to turn the heat on Monday because it was 33 degrees outside. And today it was 83. Welcome
Oh,
to
yeah.
Texas.
Sounds
North
like-
Texas, at least.
Sounds like
yeah.
Colorado. Yep.
Yeah.
Mm. Mm-mm-mm.
Anyway, thanks for having me.
We're
Yeah.
so happy to have you.
Yeah, so it is in the US Veterans Day week, I guess. So because Veterans Day was on Tuesday, so we invited the lovely, whichever direction she is from me, Beth. So it's one of our fellow veterans. So had to, give her an excuse to come on.
That's right.
I never need an excuse. You guys would just
Yeah.
you would be like, hey, you free? I'd be like, let me make myself free. And I'll be here. So hi.
Yeah. So tell us what you've been up to.
It's been a while.
Well, I've been streaming on Twitch a lot. I got Twitch partner a few months ago.
Congratulations.
Which basically means I get a check mark by my name and some perks from Twitch directly. So yeah, I mean it's been pretty good. Life is lifing. My children
what
are
do you,
living on their own.
What are you playing now? Like what?
I'm
game?
currently playing a game called Marvel Rivals, which is like a hero shooter game where you get to play as a character in the Marvel Rivals universe. That's the main game I play, but then once a week I stream Baldur's Gate. I'm doing a Baldur's Gate 3 playthrough. And once a week I play that, and I'm going to be incorporating Fortnite funsies because my 24-year-old daughter wants to play Fortnite with me as bonding time. So
Aww.
we're
so
once a week
cool.
we play Fortnite together. So I know it's hilarious how they want to get away, and then once they're away, they want to have the time, and I'm grateful for it. So I'll I'll do whatever I have to spend time with my kiddos. So anyway,
Absolutely.
Love it.
who will be 30 and 25 next
Oh
year?
my
I'm so
God.
glad.
What?
No, when did that happen?
I know.
Seriously, the maiden. Guess what I'm signing her up for? Driver's ed. I'm like, oh my god.
Oh my lord.
Oh, wow.
Look out, world!
Oh, my
Here we go.
I know, before you know it, man, college applications, it's so crazy. It's so crazy. But I'm still only 40
Yeah,
in my
same.
brain. Even though
Oh,
my
in my
body
brain,
tells
I'm
me
like
I'm not 40.
24.
Even though my body tells me I'm not 40. And in my brain, I'm, I'll be 52 next month. So like, I'm not old enough to have a 30-year-old child.
Yes,
Anyway.
I like the way Winter's Lady puts it. Literally, light preserve us.
Light
Please.
preserve us.
Please
Yes.
preserve us. Please preserve us.
I mean, I'm vitamin D deficient for a reason. I don't go in the sun.
you got to slather on that SPF 40 or 70 or whatever number we're using.
Exactly.
These days, 150, and like go out. Just
Exactly.
You need 10 minutes. That's all you need. 10 minutes, full sun, and you will not burn. 10 minutes every day. You just get, and then you get your vitamin D and then come back and.
Yes, I do get enough sun to, when I say I'm vitamin D deficient, it's mostly a joke. Mostly a joke.
Mostly. They only come out.
But anyway, other than that, not a whole lot, just working and living. And I've had a little bit of Wheel of Time fatigue for the last few months. It was so much energy put into it for such a long time that I've just kind of had to take a step back from most Wheel of Time things for now. But I'm currently rereading The Expanse.
Ooh.
And after I'm done with my Expanse reread, I'll probably, like at the beginning of the next year, do another Wheel of Time reread. So
nice.
It is my favorite book series for a reason.
Yeah. It is true.
So yeah.
Yeah, I do feel like a lot of people have a little bit of the Wheel of Time fatigue, especially after the cancellation, and that was just such a down.
Yeah. So, but I mean, the show is unfortunately kind of not progressing, but we still have the books.
The books are great. We've been talking about them for years.
Yeah, exactly. They're timeless. They're not going anywhere, right?
Exactly. Well, speaking of shows and books and news, should we do the Daily Veil?
Let's talk about news. We have news.
I said that, and then I was like, "Wait,
I think where'd it go? Where is it?" We're going to branch out a little bit now that we don't have, a lot of show stuff to talk about.
Wetlanders.
Fucking Wetlanders.
Okay, I found it.
Yay!
Okay,
Just do that for fun.
Right. I was just it'll cause a break.
Spear brothers and sisters,
it is time to cover up your face.
For the Wheel of Time has news, and we shall dance the spears with it.
This is the Daily Veil.
Love that voice too.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So the Rapunzel, as they've been doing an amazing job at reminding, and I feel like all the Discord servers, we have the holiday What Idols coming up. So if you want to do a parody or an original song or a skit or cosplay art or whatever, like there's no real rules. The details are on whatidol.com to give you some boundaries. Mostly like don't be a dickhead, I think is kind of the general rule of thumb we like to use in the Wheel of Time community. But that being said, submissions are due coming up in the next couple of weeks on November 30th.
Yeah.
So if you want to participate, go to What Idol to find out, get some ideas, submit things.
Unlike regular What Idol, you can collaborate with other people now. So same thing.
Oh yeah.
And What Idol holiday does not have to be Christmas. It can be whatever holiday you choose. You are free to do whatever you like.
Bell time. You could totally do bell time.
Yep. Do it. You
could do Festival of the Lights, Festival of the Birds.
Yeah.
Although I'm sure there's a minimum amount of clothing per the rules that you're supposed to be wearing. So
You can, yeah, there is probably a rule. You
I
have to
don't
be
know why
close.
that made me laugh so hard.
You're welcome. All right, moving
Get your
on.
parodies in, people.
Yes, yes. Because, you know, we love gathering for those types of things. And this is not a contest. This is just for funsies. So, do it.
Not a contest.
Do it.
Nope.
All right. Our Cara Carly had an amazing interview with Rosamund Pike on the Collider. So I am going to attempt to lower the music so we can listen to Our Lady Moraine talk about, get your tissues handy, folks.
I was going to say, get your tissues out because it's so sweet.
Right, and I've got the sound on.
To express to me personally what the Wheel of Time meant to them
Okay.
was very moving and startling and sort of unexpected. I'd sort of touched the waters of what it had meant to people, but this was a chance for people to really express, you know, come with people they'd met through the Wheel of Time, people who've got married because of the Wheel of Time, you know, people who've connected, who've had the courage to come out because of the Wheel of Time. I mean, there's just people who wanted to end their life until they discovered the Wheel of Time. I mean, it's profound and meaningful. And I just thought, my God, if I could get, you know, the heads of Amazon here at Stage Door with me listening to these stories. I mean, I really did. I thought, you've got no idea. You've got no idea. We have such an amazing team now. We have the ability to make a great final sequence of seasons for this show. We're a close-knit cast. So yes, it's a shame, and we know what to do with these books now. So who knows? I mean, I've just been in the theater.
Okay, so yeah. And this is based off of, as I said, an article by our Cara Carly in the Collider. So if you want to see the full article, it's on the Collider website, and that is one of the clips.
You know, I really love this article because I loved, you know, hearing her take now, you know, after being like, you know, she talks about being a Bond girl, which is, you know, so interesting. She talks about how, you know, you're 21 and you're a Bond girl, and you could either be completely forgotten or you become a good actress. Like, this is your opportunity. She's, you know, she was saying how, you know, it's been great that now, like, this movie she's in, what's it called? Now You See Me, Now You Don't. Or what is it called?
Something like that.
Something like that. That's not it, but you know what I mean.
Oh,
you know,
it's Now You See
like,
Me. Yeah, the newest.
Number 2, right? So it's her biggest, like, blockbuster film since Bond, really. Like, she's played all these amazing roles, but like in terms of like dollar amount and, you know, theater numbers and all that stuff, this is like her biggest release since she was 21.
Wow, that's
crazy. Anyway, just really interesting, sort of great interview by Cara Carly, and all like talks about a lot of her different roles and the theater. She talks a lot about the theater, which is really fun to read about. So anyway, you guys should read it. It's a great article.
Plus, it's written by, you know,
Cara Carly.
Cara Carly.
Yeah.
So, number 1 Wheel of Time fan at the Collider.
That's right. She is number 1. Next to Perry. Perry's a pretty big fan too.
True. All right. Slightly switching topics. One of our foldies, Serene, is opening up commissions for chibis. And she's been posting some of the ones that she's created in our crafting channel on Malkier Talks, Glory to the Builders, as well as some other places. And has just done absolutely phenomenal work. So, and yeah, so if you've been in the market for a chibi and just haven't got around, I know Memo's had kind of limited openings because she's getting pretty
She's a mommy.
She's a mommy, and she's getting steady work in other places and some of her animation work, which is awesome for her.
That's amazing.
Yeah, right? So cool. Sad for us that, you know, she doesn't have quite as much free time to do stuff for us, but, you know, whatever.
But, you know, Serene has just, like, blossomed as a chibi artist. It's been so fun to see her first ones, and, like, what she's doing now is just so cool.
Yeah. So this one is one of the more recent ones that she did for Moraine Kikuche, who comes to MalkieriCon. So she did that one, and then there's she did this middle one for Ashikova. Yeah.
So cute.
So yeah. So just some really amazing work. And I think some of these are horses. The one that looks like Juliet Howland, what she made for Juliet Howland. So yeah.
Nice. So cool.
Anyways. So yeah, so those commissions are open. She's got it on her BlueSky, also in the Malkier Talks Discord channel. She posted the information there. So, wink, wink, nod, nod. Go to join us on the Malkier Talks Discord channel if you haven't done that yet.
You should.
And then moving on, Show-Ray recently, she's got a new film out, but at the screening of Deadly Vowels, she read a poem that in both Farsi and English. It's kind of a long video, so I'm not going to play it here, but if you follow her on any of her social medias, she's got it posted there, and it's absolutely just beautiful. Again, bring tissues for that. So, but highly recommend checking her out. And then our last little bit of news, getting back to Rosamund Pike, because, it's always good to finish the news with some Rosamund Pike news. She won Theater Actress of the Year by the Bazaar Women of the Year Award, so by Harper's Bazaar. And Amise pointed this out. I didn't even notice. So Amise, do you want to?
Sure, yeah. So it was really cute. Just kind of jumping off what she says in her like interviews and things, and how much everyone loves each other, and how everyone's very supportive of each other. And here she is just posting about this cool award, and Daniel Henney runs in. It's like, no one deserves it more, and she's like, oh my warder, how much I miss you. It's just, no matter how we feel about this show. And I just love that this group of people found, their tribe of people to be with. And it's very similar to the tribe we've all found. And I'm really excited for them just for that reason. So welcome to the Wheel of Time and how it connects people,
Absolutely.
It's so cool. So anyway,
so true.
Super cute. So, what we might need after that? A Daniel Henney palette cleanser.
Ooh,
yes. Can we figure that one out?
Yeah.
Yes. Let's just keep talking until it happens. I think that was our last news, right?
I need a moment.
Need a moment. You do need a moment.
I do need a moment. Oh my God, where is it?
By the way, Mel is on a raid right now, so she can't be here. And Rob is wetlanding. Somewhere.
How dare he?
Butt rock.
There it is. Thank you, Daniel.
Yeah. Rob's actually on his way, I believe, down to Prague to see. No, is that where he's? Yes.
That's where
okay. I was like, wait.
Who gave out memberships? Mel got one. Sin got one. Rena got one. The last minister got one. And Iris Bear got one.
Yay.
Yay.
Wait, did Rob do that? I didn't do that.
I don't know. I didn't do it.
I don't know how that happened.
Secret. He's on his way to the airport, and he's like, I'm going to give away some memberships.
That's probably exactly what he's doing. Right. I haven't been paying attention to the chat. So Oliver's Ears is coming in saying, when it's actually there, Serene did a wonderful job creating his chibi. So yeah, so personal recommendation live from a foldie.
Yeah, that one looks good. I love it.
Yeah, just such good work. Yeah, like Blinded Fool agrees. Rob is probably being rated. Yeah,
probably true.
So,
but yeah, he's at Fashion and Fantasy, which opens tomorrow, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I believe he's going down for the opening.
Something like 87 looks will be available for view. And Rob has been working with a lot of fans to help Sharon, come up with descriptions on the characters, which is pretty cool. So congrats, Rob. Like,
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah, he's been communicating a lot with her about that type of stuff. So
yeah. So next week, when you guys join us, we'll be talking about his experience at Fashion and Fantasy, and he might even have some special pictures to share with us, which is exciting. Now, if you have extra funds, you can purchase tickets, flex tickets. They're about $25 US, and it can be used anytime. You can just purchase them as sort of like a donation to the exhibit, or you can give them to other people to use if you want. But that really, the more tickets purchased, the more possibility that this exhibit will move from town to town. So if you have the extra funds, feel free to buy a ticket. So yeah, excited to see his pictures.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, he's going to have just such a great time. So, cool.
Yeah. Is that done with the news? We done?
Sure. Oh, I feel like hold on.
Is there one
Because
more?
isn't there, so in about a month, if I can find the picture, because again, Rob normally does this and he's so much smoother than I am. There we go.
Look, Rob says he is meant to be sleeping, but woke up randomly, even though he needs to get back up in 2.5 hours. Thank you, Rob.
Go back to bed, Rob. We got this. But in less than a month, we've got What a Holiday coming up. And we are going to be raising money for, oh my God, I already forgot the charities.
I think it's the Prague Shakespeare Company, right? That's one of them. And then I can't remember.
Is it Books for Prisoners with Michael and Kate?
No, that would be really cool. I don't know if it's Books for Prisoners. Let me find out.
Anyway, we're raising money for good causes. There's so many people that are involved in the Wheel of Time community that have amazing causes. So it's for one of those.
Yes, hold on. I'm pulling it up right now. It's amazing how fast or slow my internet works. Says that, well, I don't think this is updated on the website. It says the Light Weaver Foundation, but I'm not sure we're doing that this year. The Community Entertainment Fund, the Prague Shakespeare Company.
Oh, here we go. Rob is raising money for Prague Shakespeare Company and magicbreakfast.com. Thank you, Rob.
I think the Wetlander needs to update the website.
Now you can go back to bed.
Awesome. So we're raising money. It's 24 hours straight. All of you insomniacs, stay up all night. It'll be great. It'll be so fun. We've got a lot of people who are you doing an hour, Beth, at all? Are you donating time?
I am actually otherwise engaged that weekend this year, unfortunately. So I will not be in it. I'm going to try to pop in on chat and stuff, but I'm not participating this month. I'm probably going to be on the front page of Twitch that weekend. So
yay, good for you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Rockstar. You're such a superstar.
She really is. And Rob is giving more information about Magic Breakfast. It's a organization that was nominated by Sharon, and they provide breakfast to children who don't have access to morning meals.
That's amazing.
So,
yeah. It is amazing. Do you know that it's been proven that if everyone eats food, they learn more at school? Can you believe it? I know this is such a
oh my gosh, I'm color me shocked. Color me absolutely gobsmacked.
Can I just congratulate the Colorado State for voting through meals for kids in public school for breakfast?
That's amazing.
And lunch for everybody. Thank you very much.
I mean, I know I don't function when I'm hangry. So, and children cannot regulate their emotions. I'm not sure I can either, but
but at least you'd have food. You know what I mean? So hey, I love this.
Food and wine.
Meals for kids. Let's do
it.
I'm abstaining from alcohol until the beginning of the year.
Good for you. That's an amazing goal.
I've gotten very unhealthy, and that's anyway.
No, but that's an awesome goal. Good for you.
Yeah, I love that.
So, shall we?
What are we talking about tonight? So this week was Veterans Day, and I'm pretty sure it's Veterans Day also in the UK this week, but I could be wrong. Or Remembrance Day, it might be called. But today, what are we talking about, Leigh-A? Got some cool things to talk about.
Yeah, so I came up with a very nerdy topic.
You are such a nerd.
Nerd.
That's why you guys love me. So as I was thinking about veterans in the Wheel of Time, I started really thinking about. At first, I started thinking about people like. Oh my god, I'm totally. Was dating Morghese. Why am I completely blanking on names?
Melindhra?
No, the other one. The
Oh.
older dude. The great general. Anyways.
Oh, Byrne.
What happens when... Yes,
Yeah.
thank you. Oh my god, wow. Let me drink a little bit more and maybe I'll remember names. So I started thinking about, like, those are the type of people that I think when, like, they leave the service or retire or become what we consider veterans. So where you've done your time of service and then you've moved on to another job. So a lot of people in the Red Band are veterans from their various nationalities and are now going on to a second job. And then I was like, wait a second. Why are we talking about freaking Wetlanders? Yeah, exactly. Why would we want to
I'll
talk?
take the little wolf anytime. Just bring it my way. But
Right.
outside of that, we can talk about the Aiel.
Yeah. Well, but exactly.
Wetlanders.
So, why would we talk about? Wait, no, good.
Wetlanders.
When we could talk about the Aiel.
I don't know. Who thought of that?
I know, right? Seriously. You know, we just happen to have an Aiel talk show. So then I started thinking about, well, what are there veterans from the Aiel? And then I kind of went down a little bit of rabbit hole thinking about the different ways that people who are serving in the various warrior societies would become veterans. And then what does that look like when they move back to the hold? So we don't get a lot of descriptions of the typical Aiel lifestyle for the most part. We get a little bit in Cold Rock's hold, and then we get just a dabbling of what the camp lifestyle looks like as they're following Rand from town to town to town, because it's not just the warrior clans. There's a significant support structure, but it's kind of like we see wise ones and clan chiefs, and that's basically it.
We can project what we think would happen. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I would assume that Robert Jordan, being a vet himself, had some thoughts about it. I'd be really interested to know in his notes if he had, written down like what Aiel life is like when you get to. I mean, I guess it's hard because in some part of me, I feel like the Aiel society, it's like fight till you die. You know what I mean? Like if there's not like a retirement, but there could be. I'm not saying it's not possible, but I feel like the way that he wrote the Aiel was like, okay, you just keep fighting until you get killed, because that's honorable, right? Like in the world of the Wheel of Time. Not saying in life in general, but again, like he couldn't, like I'm sure in his personal life and his real life, he probably thought about that. Like maybe they do retire, maybe they don't fight till they die, maybe they do other things. What do they do?
Yeah. So what I started, I created a list, and then after I created a list, I kept thinking more about it, and so we'll just kind of roll with it. So there were five major points. So one is they age out of it. Like literally at some point you're just not going to be able to keep up, and as you're running from location to location to location. That is an important. They are transporting themselves essentially, and whatever gear they need. So they do need to be able to maintain a certain pace in order. So I'm wondering, like, do they have a like a physical test? Like, dude, like if you're too slow, just go back home.
Soriella, like she's what? Like I always pictured her in like her 60s.
Yeah, me too.
I don't remember if they actually say how old she is, but
I don't think they ever do.
Well, since she can lightly channel, because she's had, I think, like 3 or 4 husbands that she has outlived.
Oh, I'm thinking of Sulin. I'm sorry.
no, I was thinking of Soriella, but or Sorlea. Sorry, I'm saying that wrong.
But Sulin's also the oldest member of the main, the Fardari Sky.
Sulin is older than her. That's right.
No, Sulin, but Soriella is a wise one. So
I think she's like a couple hundred years.
Yeah, probably. Okay. Yeah. But when you said Soriella, I thought Sulin because she's a maiden. That's where I went. That's
true.
Yeah.
It's just one of the few S names. There's not many.
I know. Sorry. I just spilling them out of my mouth incorrectly, but
so another one is due to possible injury. They might not, for again, sort of like you're aging out of it, but just like you get wounded in the course of a battle, and the wise ones don't have the type of healing that the White Tower has, and they're not typically at those battles. So even if they could do the healing, it's more, the analog version of medicine that we have.
Wisdom version. Yep.
So, Punoming Garden. So Sorlea was over 200.
And if you're a stone dog, you're probably getting injured a lot because you're in the front, right? Like,
and also they just probably jumped to show off and then fell and tripped and did something stupid.
You know what?
Except for Gaul, he can jump over everybody. So he's not
why did you have to bring up hurting yourself needlessly?
I don't know who.
Because you're excited. Why'd you have to bring that up?
I mean, somebody's a stone dog in this room, and it's not me.
Sounds like I would totally do that.
Not it.
Yeah, I'm calling all 3 of us out. We've all done stupid shit like that.
It's true.
No.
I have actually done that. Probably just as bad as you, Beth, but it was like many, many years ago.
Yeah.
I have a very similar story to yours.
I broke both my feet because I did the Dirty Dancing lift twice in a row. The guy dropped me once. So I was like, no, let's do this again.
I remember you telling me this story. My God, you're so extra.
That's okay. I went up and jumped on a high 10 while inebriated, and I landed on my friend's foot, and I totally fucked up my ankle. Like, really, really bad.
I mean, really I was totally sober when it happened to me.
Yes. I mean, it doesn't matter sober or not. They're all very like, I'm so excited. Let's do this. And you just don't think about it.
Yep.
This is why we stay in our holds and we never leave.
Except for WhatCon and MalkieriCon. So injury is another one, and then women get forced to leave being a maiden of the spear because the wise one tell them that they have a different destiny. So it's kind of a forced leaving of your warrior society.
I mean, only if they become wise ones. They don't all become wise ones.
Not all of them, but those Amis is about Amis. Wait, Amis, Avienda, so they are veterans of the warrior societies, just doing a different job now.
Yeah.
And then conversely to that, I started wondering if some of the dudes decided to leave the warrior societies to just because maybe it's not the cup of tea that they thought it was, and want to be like a blacksmith or a farmer or a sheep herder or insert job here instead. So, and then another one is maidens who decide to get married are no longer members of Fardari Sky, so they do essentially.
I do have a problem with that.
Retire. Yeah, right. Like, why do the women have to
Well, especially because they're I guess I feel like it's like an oxymoron. Like, you can't be a maiden if you have a baby, but yet you don't keep the baby, you give him to everyone else. So like, if I'm gonna like let everyone else raise the baby, why can't I still be a maiden? Like, it is the weirdest. It's one of the ridiculous, sexist thing that I feel like is in the books. Like that doesn't make
so true.
Like if it was like, okay, you're gonna have the baby and you're gonna be the mother and nurture it and whatever, fine. But like everybody takes care of the babies, so it's not like you have to be at home all the time.
Why can't the man stay home and take care of the baby?
True,
especially if he's not in a warrior society. Like, let the dude stay home and take care of the baby.
Yeah, that could be like, again, the tar daddy's daycare. That's like one thing that you do. So anyway, that's one of my biggest irks from the Aiel world building in the books. That doesn't make sense to me, but yes, that is another thing. Like, you become a mom or even a bridal wreath, even if you don't have babies, you're out.
Yeah, as soon as you get married, you're out. So, anyways, yes.
Yes, so many reasons to become retired from warrior societies. The crows.
Oh my Lord, have mercy.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, so Rob, yes, if you keep the baby, that's
or get
when
married.
You have to, or get married. Like, as soon as you lay the bridal wreath, you're done. And I guess that's like a thing, like, as the women laying the bridal wreath, that like they're choosing. They're not having a guy propose and then be like, okay, I guess I'll give up my whole career to marry you. Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Balances out the my challenge with this building, but still.
Yes, and Rob, people in chat are yelling at you. Go to bed.
He's up now. He's not going to bed. He has like an hour and a half. He's awake. Well, so okay. With all those, are there any other ones?
And then Ulver's ears actually brought up a thought process that I'd love for us to pull the string on. Gaishain are temporarily retired, and I do feel like there's stories in the books where people talk about like, you become a Gaishain and then you fall in love and then you get married out of that, or maybe like you end up doing a different job. So I was wondering if like maybe that might lead to retirement. And becoming Gaishain might also be paired with the injuries. So if you're injured, maybe
I would think that to reclaim, your G, that as soon as you're done being Gaishain, you would not retire. You would. I mean, you have a job when you're Gaishain, and you are doing things, and so you're not like you're not. I mean, you have a different role for a year and a day or whatever. So you would want to get back onto the field of battle.
But what if you learn that you really like cooking or whatever task it is? It's an opportunity to learn a new skill, and maybe you're just like, maybe I am old. Or whatever. Like, I'm tired. I've been injured.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose if you learn a new skill, maybe someday you would use that in your retirement.
Yeah, it just, as I went down the thought process a little bit, it made me think slightly differently of the Gaishain, like taking people Gaishain, because, like, yes, I do feel like having that working level class of people is important, and so they're kind of doing the Aiel culture, like, is structured very differently than how we see it, but like, so basically, like, they're doing the low level labor type. That is what we would consider. So the upstairs and the downstairs, if you will.
They can get really good at pouring water onto the hot rocks in the sweat tent. That is for sure.
And it seems like they're cooking and bringing food, and imagine they're like harvesting, like working on the harvest, some of those like labor intensive things. So,
yeah, I mean, it's true. They might find a new role that they really like, or like you said, they might meet someone they love, and
I think it's also super important to think about like the time frame that you're thinking of, because the Aiel prior to the last battle were all their whole lives were built around preparing for the return of the Karakarn, right? That was what their entire leadership of their society knew, right? Where they came from. And so they, over thousands of years, honed their skill because they knew that they were in the threefold land for lack of a better term, the sins of their fathers, right? And so they raided each other. But they weren't seeing battle every day. They were just battle ready, right? And so the Aiel post last battle ends up being more like they are UN peacekeepers. If we were to look at modern day time, right? Like they were like the international police, so to speak, making sure that the nations that signed the Dragon's Peace were adhering to their promises. So it gives them more of a purpose, a different purpose than what they always had. Because if like Aiel culture in general, everybody had the ability to fight, right? Everybody was battle ready. You had warriors who were the true defenders, but if a hold got raided, everybody in that hold knew enough how to defend themselves and how to defend their home, right? So I think an interesting thing I would like to bring up to you guys is how do people, looking at the military now, specifically 21st century survivors of military conflict, you have people now that are surviving grievous injuries that in World War I, World War II, Vietnam, they wouldn't have survived dismemberment. They wouldn't have survived losing 2 legs and an arm. So you have, with that, to put it in modern day technology, you have the introduction of Aes Sedai healing, where somebody who might have died, an Aiel warrior who might have died from their wounds, all of a sudden is healed. What do you think life is like for those people who are forced out because they might have died and now all of a sudden they are living? Like, what do you think the long-term ramifications of that would be? Like, how are they going to be seen to? How are their needs going to be met in a post last battle world?
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, life expectancy, I think, with the blending of channeling, from sea folk to Aes Sedai to wise ones, like the kin, everybody, like the blend of all the channelers is going to definitely make life expectancy grow. So whereas you're right now, sort of like the flush of people, there's not going to be as many deaths. There's like, where's everyone going to live? What jobs are they going to do?
Well, I mean, a third of the population of the world was killed in the last battle, basically, right?
True.
So
but moving forward, like into like 100 years later.
Exactly. Like, but that's exactly what we're facing now in modern day. I'll use my brothers as examples. They were both combat vets from Afghanistan and Iraq. My brother Adam was in the shock and awe drop in Iraq in 2003, or was it 2003? Yeah. And went on to serve in Afghanistan. His best friend won the Congressional Medal of Honor for service in Afghanistan. And my brother has PTSD and is not fit. He has some physical injury, mostly hearing loss, but the mental side of knowing that you have unalived somebody does something to you. And I think it would be different for Aiel because they're honed for that. They're raised for that. I have a feeling their culture, their society is able to pick from a very young age who the warriors are going to be, who the gardeners are going to be, who the herdsmen are going to be. It's probably not just like a familial thing. It's like,
It's
okay,
a
we're looking
societal.
for the best of the best because we all know how to do this thing, but we need the best of the best to be able to really do this thing. So much like the Aes Sedai would go out and look for girls who can channel, I have a feeling, even though they never really get into it, that the same thing is happening with the societies with, okay, well, we see from a very young age that this person is especially athletic or especially has a great mind for combat or, strategy. And so they are groomed from a young age into that path. And so eventually they're going to become the clan chiefs. They're going to become the
society leaders
among the Aiel, right?
So I have to think that in a society that focuses their entire energy on being warriors, that even though we don't really get to see it in the books, that there's probably, I would think, a system of support for people that get injured, that can no longer fight anymore, that have seen unspeakable things, right? Because the whole society is used to it, right? They're part of. I'm not saying that normalizes violence, but it is normal for them, right? So I feel
they have
like
a very pragmatic look on death, right?
Yeah, it's like you wake from the dream, you go, like you've done your time.
I also have a feeling that even though it's not really specifically addressed in the books, that they also believe in if somebody wants to go, they let them go.
Yeah. Like some sort of assisted suicide or something.
Yes.
I mean, because they really do. Like they send off their male channelers
to go off in glory, know, but if somebody is really no longer happy, like from a PTSD standpoint or something to say, or
probably even like an illness standpoint. I feel like if they just
there's
feel
nothing
like they're not
dishonorable about wanting to go on your own terms is the way that I would, think of it. So
because they do have a positive view on death. Like you are awake. This is just a dream and you're waking from it. And there's no shame in death or dying.
The shame is in not dying sometimes. The shame is in
not busting your ass and
well, like the most shameful way of becoming a Gaishain or let me put it in a positive way, you can earn the most G by only touching your enemy as opposed to striking them, killing them, hurting them, like so like but that also causes conversely more tow for the person that you've just touched. I do feel like the Aiel, when it comes to physical injuries and emotional, spiritual injuries, that they are probably very well adept. Like they're a very task-driven culture. And so I feel like they would try, especially the wise ones, I feel like are very equipped with rehabilitation techniques.
Yeah,
and
I would agree.
And so like once that warrior is brought home with either physical bodily injuries or internal injuries, that they would be given the treatment that they need to recover from whatever type of wounds that they have, because there's always something that can be done. Like if you've only got one hand, there are still things that you can do. So if you've lost use of your legs, there are still things you can do. Or if you're just catatonic for whatever reason,
I think the beauty of not being Wetlanders is that in a society where you're to survive, you have to fight. Not necessarily with spears, but you have to fight a desert to live. There's never enough water. There's never enough food. There's you have to survive, and there's always tasks that, like you said, task oriented, totally true. There's always something to be done. So whether it's a distraction technique or, everyone has a purpose regardless. Like, it's not like in wetlands when you can just sit around all day and there's rain and there's food growing on trees and all this stuff that's plentiful. I mean, let's say after the last battle when, the Dark One's curse is no longer on lands, but, for the majority, they can find food easy. Mm-hmm. But regardless, if you're fighting in a battle, you're still fighting and you still have good
just think about the employment, for lack of a better term, the employment opportunities that open up for this entire society of people when they start going back to Ruidian and populating Ruidian and and just starting to cohabitate with people in Randland, right? I mean, I'm sure you're going to have your people who are going to want to stay in the Threefold Land who will have to, because you're still going to need people to make sure Shar is not coming back through the Aiel waste to get your back. There's very prosperous holds that are set up throughout the Threefold Land, but the landscape of Aiel culture in general is so drastically changed after the last battle. Everybody doesn't have to be a warrior anymore. So I think in the following generations after that, you're going to start seeing Aiel pensioners where you wouldn't necessarily have seen that, like you're going to see your people that did a life of being a blacksmith where now they can retire. They don't have to worry, so it's really interesting. And
you go from being a raiding force to being a peacekeeping force, which is very different.
You're going to have people who were in the military who maybe become ambassadors, right? Or or magistrates or some kind of like equivalent of that. It opens up like a whole new.
Well, and even before the last battle, I do feel like, because again, the books were so much focus on the warrior societies and the wise ones that we don't see. And this is one thing I really did appreciate in the show, is because you do see, even though it's not talked about, they literally kept the same plot, but you saw the farmers and you just saw like the people carrying water, and there were food makers and all that. Like, all of those things still need to happen. Like, you can't just have a society that is all warriors. Like, that literally doesn't work. It doesn't work.
Other jobs.
Yes. So you need pot makers and blacksmiths and people to care for the animals. I'm sure it was the wise ones, but they still have doctors and
you need squash growers.
Yes.
What's ironic is I think the place where you actually see that in the books in one of the best lights, besides when they go to Cold Rock's Hold, or whatever it's called, because
Cold Rock's Hold. Yep.
Thank you. Is with the Shido when they take up and set up camp in Malden. Right? Aiel were still doing their Aiel things. They were not doing it with much G, but everybody had their role. Everybody was still doing their things, right? And so from a Wetlander's point of view, from Aiel's point of view, you saw what they were doing. But for the most part, they were living Aiel day-to-day lives, in the wetlands. And so I think that was probably the most time that we saw with, besides like Rand's journey, because they were traveling the whole time. We never really saw what Aiel do when you're in an established place. And that's the one thing that was really missing, I think, to kind of like give a more of a bird's eye view of like day-to-day life of the Aiel. We never really saw that, except for some very small, short instances.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot of talk in chat, which we can talk about just, elderly in general, vet or non-vet, there wasn't, like you said, Beth, there's not much for us to see, but I don't think the Aiel culture would be like, okay, you're old, you have no purpose.
No.
And I think because that everybody has jobs, they would find things for people to do. They would find things for, to support their elderly. Like
Mhm.
they are probably the ones that are staying at the
Absolutely.
holds. They're not
Absolutely.
going on raids. They will be there. They will be there with the children. They will be there, making clothing or whatever they need to do. Like whatever they can do, they're going to do it. And if they can't, then I'm sure will be treated kindly. I have no doubt.
Right.
And we know that Robert Jordan partially based the Aiel off of Native American indigenous cultures, and the elderly were very
respected,
honored. And but honored, but also critical to the functioning of the society, because as Charlotte puts, non-Aiel warriors still become elderly and need care, but it doesn't mean that they're useless also. So like a lot of them did care for the children, watch over the children, and the Native American indigenous cultures like instilled in their children at a young age responsibilities. So like it's not like these days where you need helicopter moms running after kids who are unruly because there's no boundaries. Not judging at all.
There's a storytelling aspect.
Yes,
Like
that's what I was going to talk about. Yeah.
Yes.
Outside of the breaking of the world that Carlton does,
they're the teachers. Yeah,
they're the teachers.
Exactly. They're the people that hand down the tradition year after year, and that's the thing that's so fascinating. If you like do any kind of research into any indigenous society, the reason why they still have the ability and the knowledge to practice things that have been pretty much unchanged for hundreds, if not thousands of years, is because of the passing down of oral tradition to, and that is how, people who are Navajo, it's not a written language, right? There are people who still speak fluent Navajo, and that is because of oral tradition. And so, yes, absolutely. And when I made the comment about like pensioners, I just meant like they can retire.
Yeah,
and
they're not as much
because they're going to have like a structured, centralized government and economy, they might actually get some kind of like equivalent of America's Social Security in their old age.
Sure.
Whereas before, everything was, everybody still had a function. Not to say that a retired person in the fourth age from the Aiel won't have a function still, but they might be able to relax more in their retirement, as opposed to still needing to become that essential part. I would be very interested. One of the things that we all have our I wish we knew what happened. I wish would have happened. It would have been really interesting, because the only glimpse we have of the future for the Aiel is Avienda's journeys through the columns, right? Like after the second trip to Meridian.
It becomes bleak very quickly.
And it becomes very bleak. And you see the breakdown of Aiel tradition because of desperation, right?
Because they weren't given a purpose and a job. So for thousands of years, they had a purpose, even if the bulk of the culture didn't really know what that actual purpose was.
But ultimately,
they still knew it was for something.
It was the hubris of Rand's children and grandchildren, because they are the children and the grandchildren of the dragon, that kept them. That really was the ultimate thing, right? And the Aiel pride in being Aiel became their downfall indirectly.
And just having no task but still wanting to do something.
The deceit, the lack of honor that even 2 generations down.
Yeah, true.
The lack of honor that they had, because they didn't think anybody that wasn't Aiel wasn't worthy, right?
And the rest of society moved on beyond them.
Exactly. And so I would like to see, like, the Aiel, I don't want to use the word assimilate, because it sounds so negative, but do they do they take on traditions of the wetlands? Do they still maintain a separate entire culture that's separate because that it means so much to them? They have to be separate because they're now this peacekeeping kind of like those are the things that I wish we would have like an insider's
do they
on.
like does half Viridian become like a Tuathon, like section? Like is there like a complete pacifist section?
Oh
This is a
no!
whole nother episode of Threefold Talk. This can of worms that I just opened.
maybe that's who takes care of some of our pensioners, as you said. Like maybe there's this whole like, I mean, who knows what can happen in, let's say, the fifth age.
My God.
Like,
these are things that you need to be writing down, Leigh-A, for when we end up going back and starting.
I already have that whole history written out on how it works in our D&D campaign. So
I mean, it's just out of everybody, their society just gets rocked to the core, right? So
well, it does and it doesn't. Like I think Avanda did a good job of bringing up the fact that like Rand has toe for not including them, and basically, kind of threatening him during that meeting at Marilor Fields. But being the peacekeepers, being the ones that are the links between the various nations, if there are issues, and that doesn't just include the nations that Rand is discussing with, it does eventually include all of Shan-Chan, because he does make that deal with Fortuona at that time, since not going to use her dead name.
But then there's the question, is there an option to retire? Like some are not going to want to do that. They're not going to want to do that.
But those are the ones that already succumbed to the bleakness and started following the Shido. So
it's different though. Like it's a different choice. Like there's a choice where we don't believe Rand's the Karakarn, and then we also don't believe that this is our history, so we're going to join the Shido. But then there's this person decided this is what our job was going to be. Maybe we don't want to do that job, like maybe we don't want to be the peacekeepers, and maybe
I wonder if it's going to be like I have a feeling there's probably some people in the Aiel culture that decide that they want to become wetlanders, that decide they want to live in wetland, and it's almost like people that grow up as the Amish, and then they get the chance to go and see what life is like. And if they choose to come back, they can. But if they
kind of like what the show did with the Tuathawan and Aram. Yeah. So Aram said like we went off and
Rumspringa. That's the word I was thinking. Like the Elwyn on Rumspringa.
Yeah. But I also do feel like immediately after there are possible opportunities of because I personally don't believe that the Blight receded right away. So there is still like fighting that needs to be done in the Blight.
Yeah.
The Sharans are still technically a threat. So there is probably some sort of battle posted up. But then also Matt is eventually going to have to go over and unfuck the civil war in Shandar, whatever the fuck, over in Shan-Chan. And so I'm sure he's probably like, hey, any Aiel that want to come with me and join the band? I'm sure they'll have like, a whole little platoon or company of Aiel.
I think this whole like peacekeeping force is nice, but like you said, there's all these other things to manage before they could even get to that point. Before they could become this peacekeeping force all over the entire world.
And not only that, I'm sure that there's still wonky stuff going on. Like people just are shitheads. So you see when like the power goes out in a city that there's raiding. So
food is still not being grown. The seasons are all fucked up. The world is still a mess. Like it's
Mm-hmm.
it's gonna take some time to get back to normal. But I guess I was thinking more like maybe they'd be okay with fighting, and maybe there's a choice. Okay, do you want to be the peacekeepers in the wetlands? Maybe not. Maybe you just choose to retire. Maybe you choose a different job at that point.
Yeah.
You know, like
yeah.
I always took it as more like a forced position that they were put into, not so much that they're really choosing this. So maybe they get to choose to learn different skills. Like maybe they get to become gardeners or blacksmith or goat herders or shepherders. You know, maybe they get shepherders. You know, maybe they get to do something different.
Maybe they become Usquai makers because we need Usquai makers.
Well, I mean, I'm sure they're, you know, why didn't we get, you know, more into the Usquai makers? They're, you know, they're in the holds. They're in the holds. The distilleries are in the holds somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somewhere.
Yeah. I feel like there's enough opportunities. And also, I honestly think that what our headcanons about how much Aiel actually are out there fighting is wrong. So I don't think
I agree with you. I think most
really
of the time
fighting
it was
is
patrolling. It was like patrolling and
and finding water.
and a lot of sparring and a lot of sharpening of spears and a lot of hunting and not a whole lot of actual combat.
Yeah. And it was just a skill that they were constantly honing.
Exactly.
Because they were even, I mean, that's what the definition of the threefold land was. It was to hone them.
Yep.
So they're out there constantly. If they're not fighting each other, they're fighting the elements. So, and I think that's more of like the skills that they were learning. Was how to.
Sorry, go ahead, Leigh-A.
Oh, just like do this in a rock.
Yeah. I mean, I think.
Very descriptive.
It's interesting that, you know, obviously it breaks their world, their history that they don't know about, right? But at the same time, if they didn't do what they did, then Rand would not have had this, you know, the Dragon's Army, basically. You know, he would not have had all these people to support him in his conquests, basically. Mm-hmm. So was it really the wrong choice or was it the right one? You know, like the pattern has put it that direction for that reason, to betray the Gen Aiel or whatnot, you know, to betray their beliefs. But at the same time, if they didn't do that, Rand would not have won.
Yeah.
Well, I agree.
And as we're talking about like post last battle, are the Aiel ready to move on to their next positions? I feel like they would have that as part of their culture. Like, not everybody can die in battle. So, you know, this isn't the Vikings and looking to go to Valhalla. That's not really what they're looking to do. So I do feel like there is a much more, like within their culture, a much more graceful movement from being in one of those warrior societies to like either you're injured or age out of it, or you just like, maybe I want to go weave baskets instead. And so like, I feel like there's all of those other types of jobs are needed. So it is not that like their culture isn't fight and die or it's not worth living for.
Right. I don't remember. Do you remember? I don't know if it was ever said, but when they take the fifth, like, you know, obviously the blacksmiths and the gardeners are not on battle. Like, what passes down from taking the fifth to the rest of the hold? Like, do they have some sort of like bank? We're like, okay, here's what we took. Now the blacksmiths, because they're number one, they get this. But like, does everybody else get to come in? And so maybe there's like an accounting type role if they don't have one now, that could be a role that they can do.
Here's my hot take. I think the Aiel are the definition of what communism is meant to be, where they actually do live in a true communal society where there is an actual fair distribution of all of the community's wealth to the benefit. So that's why there are no poor or like, and that's why I think that what we've been talking about, like they take care of their sick, they take care of their elderly, they take care of their wounded. So like you still have a value in society. And sometimes the value is we need you to get healthier so you can eventually move on to whatever your next task is. And so like as the people who are out raiding and doing all these things or trading, like yes, everybody does have a slight little like personal wealth, but I do believe it is as Charlotte says, the distribution of the fifth. So like the communal value, the communist, I know that's an ugly word for us these days, but if you look at what
communism is not ugly,
is not what the political version of communism is exactly. So, but I think that's what an Aiel society is a communist society.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So. Yeah, I agree. I just, I've always wanted to know whose job it is to dole that out.
Well, that's probably the roof mistresses and the wise ones' jobs.
Yeah. I really want that rug. I earned it. But you can have everything else.
Well, like, and as you see, like there isn't really that much, like you don't see the wise ones or the roof mistress being more rich than anybody else. Like they all, like when you go to Cold Rock's Hold, like most of the people seem to be dressed the same. The only chair that's there is for particular functions in an official capacity for the clan chief, but that's it. So
well, I think they just don't put any kind of stress on material things whatsoever. And I think that's when we see that from, I mean, they take pride. Okay, let me rephrase that. They love things.
Yes,
they do.
But the things that they put value in are for different reasons than what Western society in the Wheel of Time puts value in. Like we see it in many different times, like the awe that Matt had when he realized that Aiel actually read books and how much they loved books. We saw
it's the first thing to go with the merchants.
And we saw it in the Two Rivers in Emond's Field when Bane and Chiad gave the gifts and Gaul gave the gifts to Marin Alvear, for the thank you for the hold. Mm-hmm. We see it. So the things that Westerners put value on are different than what the Aiel put value on. Like the Aiel understand the value of it. We saw it with Layman's sword, the hilt of Layman's sword, when Rand was like looking, he's like, these gems are worth so much. And Avienda couldn't care less about what the value was, right? So like they had so many things, but they didn't put the same weight on it as a good copper pot, right? Like that was so much more important than a trinket or a piece of jewelry or, so because they were such a practical people.
Yeah.
And also it's like, you can't like just steal a bunch of like, granite busts of like people, because you can't carry that if you have to pick up and go. Like you have to like, you have the hold, but you always have to be ready to go. Like, well, which is why, like, maybe this is a whole nother topic, but like the future of the Aiel, now that they have water and Viridian's open and they create this new society and being the Peace Force and having a city now with actual like things that they can live off of, and they're going to bring people like, I'm not going to say this as like blasphemy, but like in 2 ages, will they become as soft as Wetlanders? You know what I mean? Like
that's what, and that was kind of like what my question was earlier. Like, are they going to keep a battle honed entire population ready to fight or have the ability to fight? Or are they going to get a little bit more relaxed and just have the people who are actually doing the policing or the people in the active military, so to speak?
Yeah.
Are they going to be the only ones that are really battle ready now?
Right. It's a good question.
That's a really good question.
I want to know about it. I want to know what they're going to be
I know. Are you going to see a bunch of fat Aiel in 100 years? That's basically what are you going to see a bunch of really overweight, inactive Aiel in 100 years? Like, I mean,
Maybe not 100. Maybe like 200.
200
Yeah.
years, whatever.
Yeah,
Like,
maybe
Yeah,
a
I know.
couple of generations. Give it a little bit.
yeah.
Well,
So-
like, and it really all depends on what the rest, because they basically agreed to go back up whatever army if somebody starts behaving in poor faith. So
I mean, that's the thing. You know that the Wetlanders are not going to honor the peace. Like, you know it. You know these are humans and they're greedy.
That's why it's the wheel of time, because history repeats itself, because the only thing consistent
Over.
in all of that is people.
Yeah.
Because people
Yeah.
don't, we are selfish by nature and greedy by nature. And
Well, especially when you're not in a super structured society where there's a lot of need. As soon as you have less need, you get more greed. You know what I mean? So it's like, I think probably won't turn into an obese society, because I think the Wetlanders will again come back and start war again.
yeah, Charlotte brings up an interesting point that the Aiel might make a military peacekeeping service mandatory for a period of time, after which you can leave and pursue whatever career you want.
Kind of like what they do in South Korea.
There's a lot of countries.
There's a lot of countries that have a mandatory service requirement.
Mm-hmm. So yeah. And and again, Oliver's ears is asking, how would you stay battle ready if you're not always battling? And I do think, like, especially immediately, that there is going to be needs of some sort, whether it's the blight, maybe Matt takes them on to go fight over in Shanchan. You've got the what are why is names Sharans that you gotta keep an eye out for those buggers.
Mm-hmm.
So I do think that there are going to be things. So anyways, so I think Third Age, they've the culture is there that becoming a veteran, like, you don't have to have some sort of catastrophic thing. Like, you could choose to leave, or you could get injured. And I think all of that leads the culture into having it be more acceptable in the Fourth Age to maybe not have quite as high a percentage. And maybe that's what it just comes down to. It's not quite as high a percentage that do the battle stuff.
I still think there'll be plenty of warriors. I don't think that's going to go away.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, because they've got to be spread out all over the place now. So,
well, it's going to be easier too, though, because traveling is a thing. So
exactly.
The world changed vastly for the entire world.
Oh yeah.
I think that the two most impacted, besides the fact like Camelin was burned to the ground, I think the two most vastly impacted cultures are going to be the ones that are inherently going to be most at odds with each other, and that's going to be Shanchan and Aiel. Those are the two most vastly impacted by the last battle as societies, and because they're like so far on opposite ends of, they're actually more similar than you'd think, right? With the rigidity of structure and the way their society is run. They're
both very well run societies.
Very well run.
Do have like a pseudo slave class, whereas the Shanchan is a slave class, versus the Aiel, it's like it's an agreed upon indenturement.
Correct.
So
but it's just very interesting that they're the ones that are most likely to have beef with each other in the future, like on a major scale. And
we saw it in the dreams.
We saw it in
not the dreams, the
visions of the future.
Thank you. Yes.
But they're the societies that are most similar in the way they're structured.
One thing we haven't really talked about, and we don't have much time left, but towards the end of the books / going into the Fourth Age, there's going to be the Aiel male channelers. So do those become part of the Wise Ones? Do they become their own warrior society? Also, are they trying to rehabilitate the men that they've sent up that are now the Red Veiled? Yeah, so like there's a lot of interesting.
Yeah, that is a topic I've thought about a lot.
Yeah, that is very interesting because it leads to a whole thing that, before the last battle, the Wise Ones never participated in any kind of battle. They were neutral. They, and so they never used the one power to fight other people, right? Except to, like, in defense of themselves. But it's now you want to watch it. Exactly, Robin. But I think, I can't imagine. I imagine the Wise Ones would still be like the Wise Ones. Mm-hmm. But the men who can channel would probably, I don't know what they would do.
I feel like, though, after their world getting rocked already, I feel like they might be a little more susceptible to some change. Like they might be like, okay, Nynaeve, like, show me exactly what you did here to, remove the taint, like to remove the taint from inside. That's already
Nynaeve is going to be,
show me how that they're fine, and then we'll work with them. Like we will put a use in front of them, and they will do it if they want. Like if they, like the people that, like the men that were already sent to the Blight, I think are going to be pissed off, and they may not be saved. But the future male channelers, who knows? Like I often think, like, is there just going to be like, the male channeler school, and that's where everyone's going to go, and then they'll decide what they want to do with their lives.
I mean, that leads to so many other questions, right?
Like all women channelers are going to have different opportunities. So,
yeah, I mean, but it leads to even more questions. Like, are the Aiel and the Sea Folk going to honor the pact that they made with Egwene?
I think for the White Tower,
is the White Tower going to let that happen? Basically, like because that was Egwene's brainchild, right? That was her baby, and the more traditional Aes Sedai who think that anybody, just because you can channel strongly doesn't mean that you're doing it right. And they don't want to be, so I think Cadsuane is very pragmatic, and I think she will find her own way to adopt that. But I don't know that it's going to be like true to the letter that Egwene wanted to see it done. I do think that they're going to understand that they can't be left behind, because the Sea Folk and the Aiel might start working together, and they're, out of necessity, they're going to embrace a new way. Well,
and you've got the kinswomen that are out there that are just doing their own thing. There's so many
unanswered questions, right?
Yeah, so I the White Tower, I feel like, does realize it has to, and I think Cadsuane has been thinking that for years, and that's why she's like, she did as little time in the tower, because she's like, we're dumb. This is not.
We're
working.
So stupid.
Yeah, like, but she also knew that she wouldn't be able to affect change.
Whether she thought that or not, she didn't do much about it. So.
I mean, but she also was working with Sorilea, though, right? Like she made she started working with Sorilea. Yes. So I mean, that also probably laid a very good foundation.
Very little power,
but she showed Cadsuane how to cast a gateway.
Yeah, but just because, and this is, I think, where Cadsuane is wise, is that she realizes you don't have to be physically strong in the power to be a strong leader.
Exactly.
Sure.
And I think that's why her becoming the next Amyrlin does lead the tower to change, to do better, but also knowing that if the tower was actually up to snuff, that they wouldn't have had half the amount of problem. The world would have not had the amount of problems that they would have.
Right.
Leading up.
That is a topic for another time, because
I know, right.
Right. Sorry, I opened a can of worms.
No,
Yeah.
of course we all think about it.
Yeah.
What's
But Light
gonna
Blinded
happen?
Fool actually brings talking about the male Aiel channelers, and I actually agree with this, is that they probably have some sort of training program or foreign exchange with a Black Tower to spend time to train the male Aiel. Yeah. So I actually, and this is in our D&D campaign, which is set 100 years after the conclusion of the last battle. This is basically what all the male channelers in various societies do, based off of how I wrote that eventual history.
Yeah, I mean, my ideal thought would be that there would be multiple schools in multiple areas, but kind of like our university programs where you
with different specializations.
with different
People who
specializations. You want to learn about
healers go to this medical college, and people who want to learn.
And the fact that that wasn't already happening in the world is crazy to me, but whatever. But I think that is definitely like, hopefully it's not just the Black Tower, the White Tower. Like, I think that's not going to work.
Yeah.
I think personally CADs would be more like, yes, let's keep it the White Tower and the Black Tower. Let's keep some control. And I don't think that's necessarily right.
Yeah. But the wise ones aren't going to.
Kavara and Androl come into play. They are the respective ambassadors between the Black Tower. He is the Black Tower's representative in the White Tower, and she is the White Tower's representative in the Black Tower. Or
See,
there's
all
a
these-
formation
all
of a
these
White
schools
Tower
that
for
we're
people
gonna
who want to
build.
work together.
All these retired people that are done, doing their things can all work at these schools to teach. Like they can do little, stints at different universities of magic. Or not
They become
magic,
adjunct professors.
knowledge. And they, adjunct professors.
Because, even Aes Sedai need to learn how to use a freaking spear or dagger. Maybe not swords. Like, we're not going to be teaching them that sword shit. But,
something else. Yes.
All right.
All right.
Oh, this has been a great conversation. I feel like we could keep
Okay, so
going forever.
future of the channelers part 2 will come soon. I think that's a good topic.
Yes.
Talk about.
Yeah. Or like even just a further deep dive, focusing on the larger Aiel culture. Because we were trying to attempting to focus on the veterans.
And
sorry.
No, it's all. There's only so much you can tailor. Like we all like shiny object. Like let's talk about it.
I do think though, like a Ruidian like 5th age would be an interesting discussion.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like late.
Would Ruidian in the
late
5th age
stage
still be called Ruidian?
I would hope so.
Oh my gosh.
That's a topic for this discussion that we will have. Put that down as the question. Will it still be called Ruidian?
Yeah. Oh, so many. So like and subscribe to Malkier Talks. Leave a comment on, what you think the 4th age or veterans of the Aiel or any of those things. Ideas for us to talk about in the future. Obviously, we love to dish about Aiel. So
of course we do. And big props to all my lovely veteran friends. I love you so much.
Yes, thank you to all the veterans out there from all the various countries.
God, we're all Gen X, you can tell, or elder millennials.
I know. I don't know.
The
I don't know
right
how
way.
to do. Like, is that?
I can't do it.
Yeah. There's
something that looks something like this.
Korean.
Oh yeah.
There's the little heart that goes like this. It's so weird. Like, I don't know. Just do this. It's just like a heart.
Nix has schooled us several times on how to do it, and we all end up doing like weird finger things. So, anyways, well, okay. I gotta find the outro. Banter until I find the outro.
Outro.
I love you guys.
I love you too, and thanks everybody for coming. And next week we'll hear all about
baby girl.
We'll hear all about baby girls.
We'll hear all about baby girl. So yeah. Next week, fashion and fantasy discussion with Rob. I don't think we have anybody joining us. I unfortunately will not be here next week either. I'm going to a concert. I'm having adult plans.
You go, girl. You live your best life.
I'm gonna live my best life next Thursday. So,
all right.
I'm living my best life right now too, but
You'll be living a better best life next Thursday.
I'll be in the world as an adult. It's
It's amazing.
Love that. Love that for you. All right, let's see if this works.
Love
Fingers
you guys.
crossed.
Bye.
May you always find love, water, and shade.